Have you ever had this feeling or been thinking, why would anyone hire just me? I'm just one person, a freelancer, a one-person agency over some of these more larger, more established companies or agencies that are out there. And if you felt that way, I really want to dig deeper into that because there's actually so many benefits that you bring to the table just as you are right now in this moment. And I want you to be aware of those. I want you to feel confident in those and realize that your competition isn't actually those big, really established agencies that you may be seeing out there, because there's clients that definitely are looking for that. And there's clients who definitely don't want that and they want to work with someone like you. So there is definitely a difference, and there is also even a happy place in between the two when we're looking at how can we be a freelancer? How can we be a one-person agency? Or maybe even just have one or two people out there that we outsource to or refer some work to, and at the same time be able to still offer some of the great benefits that these agencies offer without having to necessarily go that route. So I want to dive into these. So let's start by looking at what are the benefits of some of these big agencies that are out there. Now, most of these agencies tend to have a project manager, and this is simply a person whose sole responsibility is to oversee the project. That's it. They manage it, but they are not actually doing the work themselves. They are rather seeing the team members. They are overseeing the process, making sure everything is on time and running efficiently. Now, even as a one-person show, you can still run your business and act as a project manager. It's actually a way that I really love to run a business, as long as that fits your personality and it works for your style and how you want your business to run. If you think that might be something that you're interested in, I'll leave a link below to another video I have where I dive into what that looks like and how that would work for you. But these agencies have this project manager to oversee everything. But the big piece of what they really have and why they have the project manager is they have a process that walks them step by step by step by step by step by step through the whole process from start to end, so that they are able to efficiently complete every single project. Make sure that it's profitable, make sure that they've hit all their steps, that they're not backtracking. And if there is more than one person who is working on a team, they're able to make sure that they're all communicating and one piece is just flowing off into the next. Now, agencies also tend to have more specializations right there on their team. So if they need a copywriter, a designer, a developer, or so forth, they have all of that right there ready to go. And of course, there's ways that you can balance this as a freelancer, but they tend to have that right there on their team. Now, while these agencies do offer these benefits, and that can feel somewhat intimidating, keep in mind that these agencies tend to cost more, not necessarily because they provide more ROI than you, but oftentimes because their expenses are more because of this dedicated team and multiple people that they have on board. They can also be harder to collaborate with because for some businesses, they might have a marketer or certain data that they have pulled in from tests that they've been running, or their own designer and so forth. And that can be harder for an agency to be able to collaborate with them, partly because they have to go through a project manager who isn't the one actually doing the work. And so there can be multiple levels of communication going on. It can cause confusion. So it doesn't work for all agencies. Now, on the flip side, a lot of freelancers or one-person agencies tend to specialize. They tend to really focus on something that they're really good at, whether this is serving a particular industry or they really dive into some very specific skills or services that provide a unique value to the businesses that they're working with. And one of the biggest benefits to working with a one-person agency or a freelancer is definitely the communication. This is where you don't have as much miscommunication, especially if you have a process in place for that, but the client is actually dealing with the person who is most likely doing the work as compared to an agency that has multiple people, a project manager, and so forth. And sometimes freelancers or people who are running their own show are seen as having less work, that they'll get the quotes back to them faster, that their prices are going to be lower. And so some of that is not a great way to be perceived, but that is why I always talk about leading with value, showing the value that you are able to bring to the table and not just designing a website that, well, looks good, because that is not what businesses pay for. So 2 things that I want you to keep in mind. First is that there is no right or wrong way to do this. If you want to be a freelancer, if you want to be a one-person agency, or you want to be this huge agency that has 10, 20, 50 people working for you, you can be wildly successful with each and every one of those options. So really, what is right or wrong is what is going to fit in best with your own desires, with your own goals, and most importantly, what is going to fit in with the lifestyle that you are working to design for yourself and your family. So I always recommend to really just block out what everyone else is doing. And if you knew that you could be successful with any of those options, which one would you choose? All right, now I want to give you a happy medium in between the two. So if you want to run as just a one-person show, or you want to be like me, just have a small team that you manage and deal with, then what I recommend is taking some of the benefits that the agency offers and finding a way to incorporate that into your own business. So what does that look like? If you are just one person, or if you have a team, it doesn't matter. You should have a process for completing your projects. This is going to start from the very initial contact and working with the client all the way through delivery and beyond delivery as well, so that you are really adding as much value to every single one of your projects. You're not missing any steps, and everything runs very efficiently. The faster the projects are moving in your business, the more profitable you will become. But at the same time, you never want to sacrifice results for your clients just by moving faster. And that is where a process really helps you balance profitability and results. And a process is something that is going to come and is going to build over time as you go through projects. If you want to hear more about putting a process together, what my process looks like, then I'll leave a link below so that you will have access to that as well. But I really just wanted to encourage you today to pick the option that works for you, to realize what your benefits are, and to feel confident in those and moving forward. Let me know down in the comments below what your goal is. How do you want your agency to run? I would be really interested to hear about it. As always, thank you so much for spending your time here with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.